Coach Nedu right here. I love how lyrically that song does not lead anywhere, but it's beautiful all the same. It is Let the Drummer Kick by Citizen Cope. So if you want to go check it out, by all means do. I discovered it a few years ago, and every once in a while when I remember, for reasons that have no reason, I just play it. Because there's too many words that rhyme. All right. So our conversation for this hour is, well, on our situation. It really does seem, and it's evident at this point, that no matter how many times you flip the emergency rule, you turn it, you toss it, there are lots of perspectives, there are conversations, never ending. Like the people who speak English say, it is the gift that keeps on giving. And it has delivered another gift to us today. And this is that multiple oversight committees have been created, have been set up to look into the emergency rule. Rivers, oh rivers, our state must be special. Well, let's dive into it. Former federal lawmaker, Senator Osinakachukwu Ideozu, says the Senate and House of Representatives could have had a joint committee to oversee the River State Soil Administrator so that they do not duplicate efforts. His remarks follows the Senate's move on Tuesday to establish an 18-member committee to monitor the activities of the Soil Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokata Ibas. A similar committee had already been constituted by the House of Representatives. In April, speaking in an interview with correspondent Martha Okere, Senator Ideozu, who represented Rivers West at the Senate, says he hopes their actions are not geared towards extending the emergency rule in the state, a move he believes would not serve the best interest of Rivers people.
The letter from Mr. President was addressed to both chambers, and it's their prerogative to set up a committee to ensure compliance. While that is their prerogative, I hope what they are doing now is not intended at extending the state of emergency, but a committee led by the Senate leader, even though it looks a bit clumsy, 20-member committee. I think that's a lot. Let the House of Representatives have earlier set up one. The Senate can do the same. Even though I have imagined that both chambers should have had a joint committee so that they don't duplicate efforts.
Senator Ideozu said the peace sought amid the political crisis in the state cannot be achieved merely through the formation of committees. According to him, genuine resolution lies in the hands of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and Governor Siminalayi Fubara. He called on both leaders to prioritize the welfare of the state.
I imagine that it's a case of two brothers fighting at the detriment of the family for the benefit of the complete stranger. I do hope that they understand that two of them are the ones to resolve this issue. It does not require the National Assembly setting up a committee, the president setting up a committee. As a matter of fact, I would suggest that everybody stay out. Let two of them go into a room. They will come out of that room resolved. It is the fifth columnist that wants this problem extended. I don't think Rivers people are benefiting.
Former lawmaker. We want them to settle, but this let them go into a room. They should not, because... Anyways, moving on. Meanwhile, the director of Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, Sam Amadi, says the National Assembly has no reconciliatory role to play in the emergency rule declared in Rivers State. Dr. Amadi made this known in an interview with correspondent Soibi Ruwari while speaking on the lawmakers' plans to resolve the political crisis in the state.
That's the point. They leave what they're supposed to do and do what they're not supposed to do. National Assembly has no broader interest of reconciliation. If they have interest of reconciliation, they will make a new law, creating a national conference. The job of National Assembly is to make laws, not to engage in arbitration. If they care about national interest and they think it's not being done well, their job is to do public hearing and make a law, either creating a commission, creating agency with a mandate to reconcile people. They don't go and engage in meetings to reconcile. They're not executive. But they can't distinguish between executive and legislature.
He advised them to strictly focus on their legislative duties and stop meddling in the function of the executive arm of government.
the parent declares state of emergency, they have to consent. They have consented. They have no other business with the state of emergency. Parent has scrambled democratic structure in that state. In fact, the state administrator has no business doing the things he's doing. He has no business calling meeting of his presumption of state of emergency that there's an emergency to be dealt with. Sole administrator is for purpose of preserving peace. Mr. Parent says there is a likelihood of breakdown of peace and a stop to democracy. Focus on that. If there are no more threat to peace, the state administrator should go away and let the democratic system come to do all this. So National Assembly has nothing to do here. And having approved it, allow the president to manage the sole administrator. That's how the concern is.
So all of this is happening because on Tuesday, which obviously was yesterday, the Senate appointed leader Opeyemi Bamidele as chairman of the 18-member committee to oversee the activities of the Rivers State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas. Senate President Godswill Akpabio made this known during the resumption of plenary. And the report goes on to list the members of that committee. It was created to strengthen transparency and accountability in the state governance. Now, remember that the House of Reps last month also inaugurated an ad hoc committee. So all the reactions are two committees necessary? I can't remember the figure, but I know the House of Reps committee is 20-something man committee. Now the Senate is 18 man, meaning that you have very close to 40 persons from the two houses deliberating on the River State issue. The first question you want to ask is it that serious? Yeah, very likely. It's the only state right now in the country that is under an emergency rule. It's the only state in the country that the occupant of the government house is not an elected official. So it requires deliberations, if you ask me. But does it need our two houses, the House of Reps and the Senate, the lower and upper chamber, the green and red chambers, and whatever other nicknames they are called, to set up different committees on the same issue? What happens when you set up these committees? Of course, there are deliberations, right? They meet, there's always sitting allowance, don't forget that. And they always come up with resolutions, recommendations. There's a white paper. Or the House of Reps has recommended that, and the Senate has recommended that. The first concern which someone raised is, could there be a joint committee? So take 10 people from House of Reps, take 10 from Senate. It's the same House of Assembly, the same National Assembly rather. And I think this opens another door as to should we have a bicameral system. But that's another conversation. If you do not find a way to merge, to synchronize these two committees, there would definitely be a conflict. One day, House of Rep committee will say, the emergency rule should end this month. Tomorrow, Senate will say, no, leave it for under 3 months. So there's need for synergy. Of course, my question is, are the two oversight committees necessary? I'm sure they will find a way to resolve it. And the next question is around if the National Assembly are stepping out of their constitutional role. Because there are questions already about the arrangement with the administrator being illegal. That lacuna, a word we have overused, has caused a ripple effect that is causing many more problems. So if you're still questioning the legality of something, that means that anything you build on it is shaky, because we are not quite sure if the foundation is firm. There are cases in court. The third, of course, is as to how important Rivers is for the entire legislative arm of government to be this interested. But we already know the answer to that question. Some say it's the golden, how do they say that in the golden, this thing that lays the golden egg? Is it fowl or chicken or what? How do they call Rivers again? It will come to me or somebody can remind me. The golden something that lays the golden egg. When they say treasure base of the nation, it's not just a statement. Rivers actually is. So maybe you can understand the attention. But over to you. Are two oversight committees necessary? Is the National Assembly overstepping its bounds? And with multiple committees, do you think that would lead to speedy deliberations? If you have more people deliberating on this issue, are we going to get out of this mess as quickly as possible? Because if the claim of the declaration of emergency rule is that there is no law and order, we definitely want a restoration. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. The goose that lays the golden egg. Thank you. I put 2 golden. I thought it was the golden goose that lays the golden egg. So the goose is not golden. It just lays golden egg. I say that's a special goose. It's like when you come from a poor home and you now raise children that have money. You are the goose that lays the golden egg. But I will be a golden goose. I will have money. And my children will have money. Mene from Yenagua. Good evening.
Thank you, Sam Oracle.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. You know, just as he asked, these 2 committees is not necessary. It's too much to me. They could have been joint committee, either 5 from the House of Reps, 6 from the House of the Senate, the Direct Chamber, make it 10, or the 9. Or let me give around figure 5 from both sides. Then the person from the Senate can be the chairman, while the person from the House of Reps can be the secretary or vice chairman to head the committee. But my worry is that the Senate, are they going to override what the Supreme Court already judged? Because the apex court of the land have already ruled. So I believe if the both sides, the both warring party can consider that judgment, I think there will be peace. All these senators, House of Reps, to me, it's unnecessary. It is my money they are coming to eat, and I don't want it that way. You understand me, Sam Oracle? So I don't know. I need a legal advisor in that studio to explain to me if they are going to override the decision of the apex court, which is the Supreme Court, that was delivered on February 28th. You see? So let me stop there for now. I'm listening. I'm following up.
Thank you, my brother. Just stop for now. Ebo from Rumibo. Please turn off your radio.
Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, Sam.
I can hear you. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
The committee they are creating up and down, that is lower house and upper house, is another way of elongating the state of emergency. Just like the last speaker has spoken, it would have been better 5 from each committee. That is to fasten things. But from the look of things, they are not coming for a faster movement to bring peace so that the state of emergency will end. So there is nothing we can do about it. They have this thing, and we cannot go to court as to reduce it. That is my take.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ebo believes that the multiple committees are designed to elongate the emergency rule. Emeka from LLA, good evening.
Yes, my dear brother. Good evening.
Good evening.
So, I earlier called now. So, about the Senate Committee, grossly about the Senate Committee to oversee the activity of Senior Administrator. Do you know that all the Senate members that is involved are pure APC category members? All the House of Rep members are pure APC category members. I hope there is a PDP in Senate, there is Labour in the Senate, and there's Abuka in the Senate. Why can't they put them there among the committee? Why are they sentimental? Putting APC people, what do you expect them to do? All of them are APC people, and we don't expect anything from them. And even their comment is illegal. The man that is sitting there is illegal to administrator. The president does not have the constitutional power to unseat a democratic elected governor under Section 305. Even the process of the state of emergency is illegal in National Assembly. There is nothing like voice vote. There is nothing like voice vote. It must be physical. One man, one vote. One man, one vote. Them declaring supporting presidency is illegal because there's nothing like voice vote. So they are sitting on illegality. They here have done a cash cow where they will come and hustle. It's a hustling ground now. They have now rubbish River State now to be a hustling ground where everybody will come and hustle and make his own money against their 2027 election. That is the plan. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Emeka. But you have shared inaccurate information. After the break, I would clear that up.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It still is Hard Facts in 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. We're having conversations around what is considered a duplication of oversight committees. This is as the House of Representatives has an ad hoc committee on the emergency rule, and recently as yesterday, the Senate also set up an 18-member committee. So with these committees across different houses of the National Assembly, we're asking important questions as to the purpose of a duplication of duty. Are two oversight committees necessary? Is the National Assembly stepping out of its constitutional role? But I was supposed to clear something before the break. Emeka, I believe, called to obviously air his displeasure. And while he did that, he said all members of the committee are members of the APC. That is completely false. I've said it as many times as I need to. While we have this platform to share your views and criticize government and do what you want to, you need to ensure that the information you share here while doing that can be substantiated. Ireti Kingibe is on that panel, and she's a member of the Labour Party. Adamu Aliero of Kebbi is also a member of one of the committees, and he's of the PDP. So, all members are not from the APC. I'm sure there are better ways to, as they say, agenda must agenda, right? But not with this. It's important that you get the facts right. 0817923 0002, 0817923 0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. I'm asking important questions. Are two oversight committees necessary for our unique rivers problem? Please turn off your radio as you call. Hello? Okay, I've lost that call. Call back if you can. Let's see. Can we take some messages? Yes, I believe we can. I don't blame the federal lawmakers and whatever committee they want to constitute. I blame the FCT minister for exposing our states to such a situation because of his and Mr. President's interest. What happened to a joint committee of Rivers federal lawmakers, elders, clergy, elite, and others from Rivers State that live and understand the situation at hand? When they are done messing the state up, we'll ask them questions, Ifeanyi Chukwu says. And Chima calls from Rumokuta. Hello, Chima.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Orako.
Good evening.
Mr. Orako, I see nothing wrong in the two committees being set up to oversee River State issue. Because let us start from the beginning. How was it passed to bill? It was passed differently from the two NAS, as in like House of Reps did their own, Senate did their own. And what do you think would have happened if Senate had passed it and okayed it and Reps refused to okay it? We would have seen there would be a bridge somewhere. So the both of them worked differently, had a different perspective, and how they want it to be run. Now the issue is that now, by constitutionally, when the assembly of a state is not functioning, it is the National Assembly that takes over the functions of that state. Now I do not know the answer of the assembly. Is it the Senate or is it the House of Reps? But the issue is that I understand that is how it's supposed to go. But to me, because Rivers State is a complex state, whereby even if you bring in Jamaica now to come and oversee things for Rivers State, people want to say that was not in Jamaica that actually pushed Satan out from heaven, or it's not in the Gabriel that came to visit Mary. So if we have two people that did something, assembly after their own investigation or their overseeing, Senate goes, then we will see what they calling it transparency into it. So to me, I didn't say anything wrong about it. Thank you. My name is Chima Dika. I'm calling from Mokuta.
All right. Thank you very much, Chima. Lawson calls from Yenogwa. Hello, Lawson.
Sam, good afternoon. Okay, it's evening now.
It is evening.
It reminds me of those days. I don't know if you are a student of this picture. But I think Birago Job, The Vulture. That's the title down here. The Vulture. You see, River State, of course, there's plenty there for people to go and collect. There is enough. So when you see the National Assembly setting up two committees, you begin to wonder why you have two separate committees and then working to achieve one same purpose. Is it not to put make a committee, some from the Senate, then some from the House of Reps, and put them together to oversee, oversight the zone administrator. These are the things we'll be saying. Some of us will be complaining, shouting, crying that, look, stop this. Because what you are going to face, if you stop, see now, most people are still busy organizing protests here and there. They don't even understand what is coming their way. And what will happen, it can be extended. It can be extended. In the Kitty at the time, with the pronouncement from the court, it was extended. So when we look at it, it is time now for them to come together. It's just something that the two of them, the two so-called gladiators, are they gladiators? It's just a godfather and a godson coming to stand and say, look, we want to resolve this issue. And then the moment they agree, all of this will be over. So we have to stop all these protests, all these statements here and there that not amount to anything, because I understand there are some people that do not want crisis to end because they are benefiting from it. But for the sake of Rivers people, it has to end. And so at least they are all watching it, except maybe a particular party wants it and accept it. If not, they can end all of this even for 6 months by coming together, agree, and as soon as they agree, it will be over.
All right, Lawson.
But if not, I can tell you this double committee you are seeing, they will be on Rivers State resources.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ken from Ubimini. Good evening.
Good evening once more, SOC.
Good evening.
SOC, can you see now that River State has been a pushing point to the national members? Have you also seen now that River State has been a hunting ground where he who wants to get his or her meat should go to River State? SOC, will you believe that River State has been a place where you must lobby to be a member of any committee that is to come and oversee what is happening in River State? SOC, have you seen that the political leaders of River State has now, because of their interest, their selfish and greedy interest, and set River State as a desert of go and dig your own goals and go back to your state or your community? SOC, are you still aware that River State now has been relegated and be a mockery state among the 36 states in the country? Well, to them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. That was quite the speech. Started by saying River State is a fishing pond, and then River State is a hunting ground. Only River State. I like that we offer a variety of fish and meat. What a state. Logoman from HA, good evening.
Yeah, Sam, Oracle, Tinedu.
Good evening.
I greet you.
I greet you too.
Yes, Logoman from HA.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say that the senators nominating some persons about how many, 18 or 10?
Yeah, 18.
To oversee the school administrator in Rivers State. My brother, I don't just understand why they are even inaugurating committees. I don't see anything good that will come out of that committee as long as the Senate President, Ababio, is in charge. Remember, he came to River State 2 times or more than that, and he posted that APC will control River State. And I'm seeing a hand of monkey in a pot of soup. But Rivers people are wiser. We are watching. On the issue of remember that the House of Reps members also visited River State. What happened? Have you had anything since that day today? It's just targeted on siphoning the resources of River State. And I know that is the main problem, that they are fighting this young man because they are not in control of the resources of River State. And some persons are keeping quiet, like the former Senator Osnakati Dozu, who I expected that he will boldly say to FCT Minister to please leave River State alone. He's talking about Tinubu, Tim and the chief minister in a house doing what? To reconcile on how to share River State money. In fact, I'm disappointed.
Okay.
A person of that caliber, Nakachi Dozu, who's supposed to speak the truth about injustice that is meted on River people, is now telling us cock and bull story.
All right, thank you, Lugaman.
I want to say that River people are watching. There will be a time we will take the bull by the horn.
Thank you very much. I must move on now. Ida calls from Nkoro. Good evening, Ida.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening. Go ahead.
I don't need any committee. You guys should go back. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Wow. These are the kind of calls I like. Straight to the point. Wisdom from Buguma. Hello, Wisdom.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Please go ahead.
All right, sir. It is most unfortunate that our senators are not courageously handling legislative oversight duty. The composition of 18-man the committee is unnecessary, obviously. Sir. I'm of the opinion is on that. Now, the bicameral legislation made provision for joint session, that's one, also joint formation of joint committee. And so I expect, like if Mr. President, anytime Mr. President is presented, you see them forming joint session. The House of Rep auditorium is not quite, the capacity is not quite conducive, but you see them coming together. So I expect them to form joint committee to supervise or oversee the sole administrator. A situation where, because Nigerians, the once in a while, Nigerians say our legislators don't have duty doing at that level. And with this kind of development, I seem to believe it. It's obviously not necessary, sir. I expect the Senate and the House of Rep to form joint committee if they wish to do that. And the situation 18-man committee is 21. The rep, they understand that you're asking the rep number. 21, the adult committee. Yeah, we can't continue like that as the constitutional democracy nation. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Susie calls from Erema. Good evening, Susie.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, this matter, I want to ask, what do we really want? What do we really want in this state? From the inception of this case or conflict, the eight-point agenda was actually resolved by the president. They rejected it and said, some people even went to video to say that the president is not from River State. He does not have a constitutional right. The man now abandoned us. The same time we came back, when the thing hooked, we started calling the president again to come to our aid, to intervene. The man has also intervened. People are coming to protest. Today we are talking about House of Assembly, both upper and lower chamber, and the federal government, which is the executive arm, whichever, now coming to mediate on this matter. On the aspect of alternative dispute resolution, any method you can use that will actually provide the leeway for peace is very important. I think that is what is for me here. It is not a matter of who is there. Oracle, you are in this studio. If you can set up a panel that can reconcile the conflict in River State today, it doesn't matter what it is. The ought and not what is actually the peace that we are looking for in River State. If the National Assembly by Senate or the rep or federal or executive can provide solution to this problem, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, but Susie,
whether it is other people.
Susie,
Hello?
I think that you will agree that conversations around the number of the members of the panel, the idea that there are two different panels across the National Assembly, the possibility of a joint committee, right? These are the alternatives to having close to 40 people from the National Assembly deliberating on this particular matter. Don't you think it's valid?
The validity of more than 40 people, even if the United Nations is added to the particular number, the ought is supposed to be the peace thereof and not the number of persons. You can have number of persons without a solution. You can have one person with more solutions. You can also have one person without no solution. We can have more persons with a solution. What we are looking for is the solution thereof in this conflict, and not the issue of people should not be partisans. They now brought somebody from Akwa Ibom, who is also a Nigerian, who has paid to lose the River State. They say he's coming from the federal, the LCT minister. He's coming from this side. What do we really want?
Okay, Susie, so let me pick your brains before I let you go. If you were on that panel or you were in a position where you could make recommendations, what would you suggest would solve our problem?
That is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We now understood first what to solve our problem. Do we really understand what the issue is all about? It is to that extent we now begin to collect data and then begin to do the principle of win-win synergy. Let's go this, let us have it this. That is how alternative solution is actually wired. Not that you will come and when they bring people, you say you don't like them. They bring these people, you say you don't like them. But they bring people from your own side, you say congratulations, this is your integrity, this one is this. That is not how it is work. Those in the part of the governor who is suspended, should go and think. They have a problem with thinking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Susie. Let's take a few messages. This is what I call duplication of duty. In a statement, I beg your pardon, in a situation like this, what did the Constitution say? Is it the responsibility of Senate to oversee the affairs of the day-to-day activities in River State, or is it the responsibility of House of Reps? Thank God, Ability Atuebu is asking. I need an answer, Sam. Brother, I have no answer. I have no answer. House of Reps, Senate duplicating themselves to manage River State's resources. You can see how one man's greed has crippled the lives and economy of River State. That's from Obi. It says, I read that 400 billion had already been and allegedly been mismanaged. Oracle, are you aware that they will be paying the guys from River's purse, River's money, just flying up and down? Fine, Chukwuwodo. I'll take more messages shortly. JJ calls from Rumibo. Hello, JJ.
Yeah, Sam, good afternoon or evening.
Good evening.
Have you heard before that too many cooks spoil the food?
Yes, indeed.
You have heard, right?
Yes, I have.
Why should the Senate committee and House of Rep committee now begin to cook for God, I beg God. I think it would have been a joint committee of 10. You know, it was the House of Rep that was the first to set up the committee.
Yeah.
And a day after the setup, some of the committee members were like, we don't even know our role. We don't know what we're supposed to do in the reconciliation.
Yeah.
And even right from time, there have been problems. Because when the president was declaring the state of emergency, he said the monitoring will be done by the Federal Executive Council, right?
Yeah.
Later, after the eyes have it, the, the
legislators.
The National Assembly now said no, that this is our work.
You report
so
to
they
them.
hijack it. Now, tomorrow, when they are supposed to reach an agreement and there is a conflict, the House of Rep and the Senate, you know, they are supposed to check themselves as a bicameral, bicameral legislation, right?
Yeah.
Now, if the Senate agreed that it should go like this and the Rep didn't agree, what do you think will happen?
We will have to come and settle the matter. We are not lawmakers.
The problem already, and I tell you, we also heard from people who have gone for screening that there is a certain amount that they need to pay before they screen them. That is on one part. Another part is that how will I put it now? The juicy committees, they always bribe to be there. And I think this should be one of the biggest and the juiciest committee because the money is just ready. And it can just come in any kind, be it pounds, dollars, all those are put together.
Okay.
That means these people will bribe their way to belong to the Rivers Committee because it's the in thing right now, bigger than any other committee. Share money, they scatter.
Well, thank you.
What do I know? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, JJ. Patrick calls from HA. Patrick is my final caller. Hello.
Yes, Oracle.
Good evening.
Good evening. I greet you.
I greet you too.
Do you remember some time ago that some Rivers people we are complaining that the sole administrator is not doing well, that they don't understand what he is doing, and that is why the Senate is important. The committee they set now is very, very important, that they have to oversee what is happening in Rivers State. It is imperative for them to come over to see if the sole administrator is performing well or is doing wrong. So I support the committee set by the Senate because it will help to oversee if the sole administrator in Rivers State is doing well or is not doing well. And it will also judge and clarify the air if what the people have been saying is true or not. So I support them to come over and start their work immediately because that's their duty. That is my stand. All right.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Interesting. Amazing. Let me clear my messages and wrap up conversations because we are at that point. Ebo Friday Chikanele on Facebook, remember we're live, says too many cooks spoil the broth. Cosmos Onyeneke says River State is now a cash cow. The two committees are a waste of resources. I bet you nothing tangible will come out of them. Emmanuel Silvanus says certain people should stop calling on radio to blackmail peaceful indigents about the right to peaceful protest. Okay, that's as much as I will take from your message. Emmanuel says it is regrettable and shameful that those under the nose of various political class and various ethnic groups in River State, the state suffers a no man's land in recent time, that a state as great as Rivers is undergoing a state of emergency, and that the Senate has set up an 18-man committee to oversee. I've lost the line there. Give me a minute. Okay, here it is. The affairs of River State. Meaning non-indigens controlling the resources of River State before the eyes of Rivers people. Kelvin Iyobo Frank, this is quite the read. But of course, you're displeased. Oracle, are you aware that they will be paying these guys from Rivers' purse? Rivers' money just flying up and down. Ifeanyi Chukwuwodo is asking. The wiki I know must give conditions before accepting any agreement with Governor Sim. It's shameful that the state has turned into a laughing stock. How does Wike sleep knowing fully that his state is in an emergency rule? That's from Ifeanyi Chukwuwodo. Okay. Please, the committee, is it for free? It's a shame on political arrangement for it to waste Rivers' money and prepare for 2027 election. Honorable Solomon Salmon from Ajipa State. I know that our lawmakers get allowances for sitting and all of that. It's common knowledge. It now depends on the terms and conditions of this particular committee. But there has to be something. There has to be some benefits, some largesse of, connected to being on the committee. The goose that lays... Okay, you are responding to that. Until we wake up, we're still not aware that we're sleeping in River State. Ogori from Port Hackett says. And the next comment on WhatsApp. The Nigerian states always do not do things right. Why double committee for one issue? My problem is that the issue is now out of Wike's hand. That's handsome. From Rivers. River State has become a gold depot for the general public. All the scavengers are scrambling to take their share home. There is God. Chinedu Samuel says. The National Assembly has now fully activated the scramble and partition of River State wealth under the guise of state of emergency. I don't see these mercenaries ending the state of emergency very soon until they have milked River State dry. The Assembly have failed to constitute the promised eminent Nigerians but recruited themselves for the task which they know cannot be executed. That's from Concerned Listener. Well, you've shared your thoughts. Lots of people have said a lot of things. A majority of opinions is that two committees are unnecessary. Others believe that the idea is to finish the resources of this state. Well, we wait and we watch. If a committee is necessary, I'm hoping that it is a joint committee and there are lesser people on it. I know that this might seem like a complex problem. I don't think close to 40 people are required to bring some sanity to it. But again, like I said, we wait and we watch.
For more talk, news and sports,